Whose job is AI going to replace? But what if that's not just the wrong question? What if it's actively leading us down a path of missed opportunities and honestly, some pretty big strategic mistakes? Let's get practical and explore a strategy for putting AI to work the right way. Whenever we talk about AI in the workplace, it seems like the entire conversation gets hijacked by one single massive question. Whose job is AI going to replace? But what if that's not just the wrong question? What if it's actively leading us down a path of missed opportunities and honestly, some pretty big strategic mistakes? This quote from the great Garry Kasparov, it just nails the modern dilemma, doesn't it? We are drowning in data and complexity, and the fear is that AI is here to just, well, remove the human from that messy equation. But framing it that way forces us into this black or white choice. You either automate the person or you don't. And that completely misses the real transformative power of this technology. The goal of bringing AI into your organization isn't about removing humans from work. The real goal is to free them up for work, the higher value, the strategic, the creative work that frankly only people can do. This isn't about replacement. It's all about leverage. Why exactly is that AI replacement mindset such a trap? Well, because time and again, it leads to failed projects, frustrated teams, and really minimal returns. Think about it. A job isn't one single thing, right? It's a whole bundle of different tasks. Some of those tasks are routine. They're predictable, absolutely perfect for automation. But so many others rely on context, on judgment, on human creativity. Trying to automate an entire role is a bit like trying to build a house with only a hammer. You're completely ignoring the unique strengths of all your other tools and your team. And this is where you really see the two paths diverge. The replacement mindset, it's all about cutting costs. The result is often what researchers call so-so automation. You know what I'm talking about. That system that only handles maybe 60% of a task, forcing your team into all these frustrating workarounds. The gains are tiny, but the hidden costs, low morale, lost skills, they're huge. The leverage mindset, on the other hand, is all about augmenting your people. And that's where you see real gains in productivity and innovation and in engagement. If we're going to avoid the AI replacement trap, what does the playbook for AI leverage actually look like? Let's get practical and explore a strategy for putting AI to work the right way. This brings us right back to Garry Kasparov. It's a fascinating story. After he lost to the supercomputer Deep Blue, he actually pioneered something called advanced chess, where humans and AI play as partners. And what he found was incredible. The best team wasn't the strongest grandmaster. It wasn't the fastest machine. It was the player who had the best process for working with the machine. And that is the perfect metaphor for what we're talking about in business. The first pattern is using AI for that high-volume, repetitive cognitive work. Customer support is a classic example. We're seeing studies show that AI assistants helping agents can boost productivity by almost 30%, especially for your newer team members. The AI handles all the routine stuff, which frees up the human agent to focus on those complex, high-empathy problems where they create the most value. The second key pattern is synthesis. AI is just unbelievably powerful at finding the signal in the noise. It can scan billions of transactions to flag fraud, or read thousands of customer reviews to pull out the key themes. But, and this is a big but, the human role becomes even more critical. You have to ask the right strategic questions up front, and then you have to interpret what the AI finds to make the final call. Number 3, AI is a massive accelerator for getting started. Think first drafts and summaries. It can take you from a terrifying blank page to a working draft in seconds. But here's a word of caution from researchers. If you rely on it too much, It can lead to something called creative convergence, where all the ideas start to sound the same. The human role is absolutely essential to provide that initial strategic intent, to refine the output, and to inject the unique creativity that makes the final product actually stand out. So we've seen where AI provides incredible leverage, but it's just as crucial, maybe even more crucial, to be crystal clear about where humans must, and I mean must, remain firmly in control. Let's be clear. These are not soft skills. They're the core, essential functions of any successful business. AI cannot navigate a sudden shift in the market. It can't make a tough ethical trade-off. It certainly can't take accountability for a decision. It can't build trust with a client or ensure your hiring process is truly fair. This is and will remain the human domain. This brings us to a critical point. Human in the loop is not some technical feature you delegate to the IT department. It's a fundamental leadership responsibility. It's your call. Deciding on the right level of human oversight for any given task based on the stakes, the risk, the ability to reverse a decision, that is a strategic choice that you as a leader have to own. Let's distill this into a clear, actionable mandate for any leader looking to build a strategy for human-centered AI. The first principle is simple. It's non-negotiable. You can absolutely delegate a task to an AI system, but you can never, ever delegate accountability for the outcome. The buck has to stop with a person. Always. The second principle flows right from that. Use AI to remove the tedious, repetitive friction from your work processes. Let it make your teams faster, smarter, more efficient. But never use it to offload the core responsibilities of human judgment, of oversight, and of ethical decision-making. Your path forward is really a design challenge. You have to think like an architect of a new way of working. First, break down roles into their individual tasks. Second, apply AI to augment the repetitive parts. That frees you up for step 3, redesigning the role itself, elevating it to focus on the strategic and creative work that drives real value. And finally, train your people for these new, elevated roles. So, the ultimate question for any leader today is not about which jobs AI will replace. It's this: how will you redesign work to leverage this incredible technology to unlock new levels of productivity, and most importantly of all, to elevate your people?